This is the National Gallery of Victoria, home of the finest art collection in Australia. The gallery was first founded in 1861, only 10 years after Victoria became a colony. And from that small beginning, we now have this great and beautiful building. Within these walls, the people of Victoria, everyone in Australia, can look at the works of Rembrandt, Van Dyck, Rubens, Monet, Van Gogh, Gainsborough, Rodin, and many other great artists. Students of Australian history, Asian culture, history or languages, needlecraft, pottery, and ancient civilizations can all gain both knowledge and, perhaps more importantly, stimulus through exposure to other dimensions of the culture, craft, or language they are studying. A major facility of the gallery is to teach those who are willing to learn. Tom Roberts' truly Australian picture, Shearing the Rams, was acquired in 1932 under the terms of the Felton Bequest. A leader of the Heidelberg School of the 1880s, Roberts was a realist who hoped to depict in this painting truly Australian country life. He succeeded by sketching the scene extensively in the wool shed at Brocklesby Station in New South Wales. This captured what he calls the meaning and spirit of strong masculine labor, which he felt justified his choice of subject. Final details were carefully painted from shearers posing in his studio. Thus, his method created art rather than merely a photographic record of the scene.
Been making colour television commercials, both on videotape and film, for the last 18 months, 2 years. Now, we believe that our knowledge, combined with the knowledge of the high achievers in this field, can and will deliver good TV commercials, making good use of this exciting new colour media. We're now going to show you 3 video colour commercials produced by Videotape Centre Melbourne. They're one of the high achievers we use to deliver our client's message to the consumer.
When a company is planning to expand or diversify, the old adage that look before you leap usually comes up. I believe in the more positive approach, and that is leap after looking. And if I may follow through with that point, Armstrong Audio Video is the result of both looking and then leaping. The lookers, and this started just 2 years ago, were Ted Conant, who you'll hear later today, Bob Fine, and Philip Adams. The leapers were and are Bill Armstrong, Roger Savage, you always say the two together, Ted Gregory, Philip Taylor, Ian Mackay, Tom O'Donoghue, and Bob Fine, who, after preparing the initial study on videotape and its development in this country and sound recording, came to us for the first 6 months of operation to act as chief executive and see his recommendations come into force. We're fully committed to people, creative, talented, skilled, dedicated people, and we're also fully committed to technological advancement in all avenues of communication. And that is why the David Simon Company organisation are behind Armstrong Audio Video, where both considerations, people and technology, will work together to provide the results that you require from us. Tomorrow's world today is our guarantee.
The colour changeover in TV has come to Australia. After the first flush of admiration, seeing images in colour, much thought now must be given to the creation of these images in the context of either commercials or television shows. Here at AAV, we have designed a studio complex not for machine domination, but for human creative environment. To sit in a room away from machines and be able to rehearse any edit in any form with any optical effect within seconds is truly a giant step forward towards making machines subservient to creative humans. AAV has taken that giant step in its one-sidedness about creative environment with the Rut synthesizer, its limit being your mind's inquisitiveness and imagination. Even more thrilling, you can color it any color you want and move titles and effects in the most incredible patterns and colors, seeing the results immediately.
So God bless AAV and all who sail in it. And I hope very much that it never loses the spirit of cooperation that the Armstrong name has come to mean, even if it does take the little bugger 2 years to fix my amplifier.
Bill Armstrong. Well, as I say, 100 Albert Street must seem a long time ago.
Sure is. It's also frightening to be up here. It's better on the other side of the microphone.
And what was it like on the other side of the world? Tell us about that.
Well, very good, but coming back here and looking at what we've got and what's over there, we're up with everything that's going on in the world. And in fact, with Optro, one of the companies that are involved with us now, technically we're as advanced, and sometimes little things that we've got they haven't got.
So you confirm that the innovations over there are readily available here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. Would you take your toms one by one right from the top?
Something more of the talent, the resources, and the helpfulness which seem to abound here.
Sadie, named after me, with GE's 2-year warranty.
From the wonderful world of General Electric.
That's why you give your dog Lassie.
Lassie's real meal goodness for real meal energy, plus vitalized gravy for real meal fitness, plus nourishing wheat germ in both Lassie varieties.
He needs a real meal just like he does. That's why you give your dog Lassie.
It's real meal goodness.
This is the control room of Sound Studio 1. It's the largest in a complex of 5 in Australia's most sophisticated sound recording studio. But when Bill started back in '65, it wasn't like this.
I started a studio of my own in December '65 in Albert Road, South Melbourne, and we stayed there until just over 2 years ago. We started off there with just mono equipment, just a single track. Then in February '66, we got introduced 4-track operation.
First time in Australia, I believe.
Well, it was the first time of the particular machine that we got was a new Ampex machine that was ahead of our competitors. But then in '68, we introduced the first 8-track tape machine into the Southern Hemisphere, actually, and it was even ahead of an 8-track going into England at that time.
So, in other words, Australia was leading England in recording?
Well, we were trying to sort of keep pace with the inevitable progress that was going on in America, particularly. And then it was just 3 years ago that we introduced the first 16-track into Australia.
Bill, can you tell me a little of some of the international artists who've recorded here at the Armstrong Studios?
Well, because the obvious one at the moment that comes to mind, and most recently, was Cat Stevens, who we're told that it could be his next single. He was in here a couple of weeks ago during his tour.
Cat Stevens?
Yes. Actually, I think it's the first time anyone of his calibre has actually recorded at all in Australia. I don't think anyone else, Elton John and all those sort of people, have never made records here. We recorded Frida Bakari and Cleo Lane and John Dankworth concerts, and those sort of outside jobs we've recorded. On the local scene, we've just about had everyone through our doors. Brian Cadd and Johnny Farnham.
Roger, what is the most exciting record you've been associated with?
The most exciting at the moment has been the Brian Cadd album, which we've just finished, which is called Moonshine. And that's been completed about a week ago, and everyone's very happy with it. And it's going to be released in the States, and I hope it'll be a breakthrough.
Moonlight and roses are the going thing. Champagne, a little love, and a wedding ring. But every time she leaves, it's gonna break your heart. It's happened before, don't come to me, I don't want no part. Let go, it ain't worth it if it hurts you. Let go, you don't need it if she don't care. Like a good old wine or rock and roll, if it feels real good, let it move your soul. But if it hurts to say her name, baby, let go.
I think the total contribution of Armstrong's in the past 4 or 5 years to Australian records has been astronomical.
And I know from the viewpoint of my company, we couldn't have achieved half of the success we have without them, and particularly in relation to making product of sufficient quality to interest big overseas companies. Now, we've had 2 albums released overseas that have been recorded at Armstrong's. And
which ones were they, Ron?
One was the first Brian Cat album, and the next one was the first Mississippi album.
Yes.
And they've both been released by prestige record labels in the United States, and they just continually sing the praises of the quality of this product.
Ron, can you think of anywhere else in Australia where you would record?
I wouldn't want to, Colin. I've had people come to me and offer other studio facilities, and I've had a look at a lot of them, and they just don't measure up in any respect from what I'm looking for. I'm delightedly happy working with Armstrong's because there's a relationship between the engineers and the musicians and talent that just can't be found, and it's something that can't be manufactured. You've either got it or you haven't, and those people down there have got it.
Open this door! This is the KGB! I know you have Wolfschmidt in there! I hear giggling! Just as I thought. Wolfschmidt vodka. It makes the party. Wolfschmidt vodka, the people's drink. Yes, my darling. Kenneth Gerald Barton at your service.
How was the character kill?
Terrific take, Jim. Could we hear the mix back with the effects track start? Right the time, man?
What's fine the time?
We'll play it back off the wall with effects, Jim.
Okay. Here we go. This is the replay.
Open this door. This is the KGB. I know you have Wolfschmidt in there. I hear giggling. Just as I thought. Wolfschmidt vodka. It makes the party. Wolfschmidt vodka, the people's drink.
Did you say KGB?
Yes, my darling. Kenneth Gerald Barton at your service.
Jim, we'll go on to the next script if you could just do a run for time and level, thanks.
Armstrong Audio is a prolific producer of television and radio commercials, film soundtracks, jingles, records, and advertising music. Last year alone, more than 7,000 commercials were recorded in our studios, 2/3 of which were radio commercials. We are producers of sound services to the film and television industries. Armstrong engineers recorded and mixed music tracks for the highly successful Australian films Stork, Adventures of Barry Mackenzie, Alvin Purple, and Don Quixote. Recently, we've been associated with the television series Outcasts, Marion, Rush, the award-winning Seven Little Australians, Showcase 74, and the new Johnny Farnham program, It's Magic.
Today in Australia, we're on the threshold of a step not only into colour television transmission, but also into the enormous potential of videotape. Back in 1971, Ray Hughes, realising tape's potential, formed Videotape Centre.
Videotape Centre has grown rather rapidly, Ray. Where did it all begin and when?
Well, Colin, it began about 3 years ago, right in this very building, which was just a factory shell then. We started out making industrial training programs on videotape machines, on helical scan videotape machines, and transferring them to film for release.
What was your precise aim in setting up Videotape Centre?
Not to develop it to the extent that it has. We set out to make initially training films, as I said before, and to do test commercials. And that went so successfully, and we thought we would have to move on, otherwise other people would be doing it. So we moved into the more professional field of quadruplex recording.
I remember in the early days you were using your van as a control room.
Yes, that's correct. When we bought a quadruplex machine, because of the initial cost, and also we were based in Moorabbin at that stage, we wanted to go to the clientele rather than hope that they would necessarily come to us. That's why we based it in a van.
Has it been worthwhile?
Now, really the possibilities are unlimited in just about any direction you want to go, particularly with the David Syme participation, pardon me, in the industry. I think it can be very exciting, particularly with things like video cassettes, cable television, and facilities like we've already got with good quadruplex editing facilities, post-production facilities.
All commercials are now shot in colour at no additional cost to the client. In recent months, Videotape Centre has produced commercials for some of the largest companies in Australia.
David Keyes opens the door on this year's latest fashion knitwear. It opens on a sunburst of colour and a riot of new style, plus famous David Keyes quality. Open the door to a whole new fashionable you with David Keyes and pure new wool.
Introducing Scarecrow and Lionhearted.
Put on a puppet show with show-offs and amaze your friends. No strings attached, you can make them do tricks at the twist of a wrist.
Come on, Scarecrow, give us a wave. And a big smile, too.
They can even do somersaults in their own show-off style.
Boy, look at Lionhearted dance. We've got them in a trance.
And you know, anyone can be a puppeteer with show-offs from Mattel.
Have you ever wondered just why Walsh's Menswear offer a free shirt and tie with every suit sold? Well, the answer's quite simple. Walsh's are out to make new friends and to get new business too. So they need a special offer that will appeal to you. An honest offer. Look at these Walsh's suits. Only the best. Names like Anthony Squires, Sackville, Eagle and Freeze. Come in and try Walsh's free shirt and tie offer soon. You'll be surprised till you see it, Walsh's.
After much research and planning, the video division will soon move to new studios at Armstrong Audio Video at 180 Bank Street in South Melbourne.
The new video complex houses 3 studios, the largest being 70 by 40 feet with a grid height of 23 feet. Wardrobe, makeup, dressing rooms and prop storage areas are sited close to all studios. The central technical area contains audio and video control rooms, editing suites, the latest videotape recorders, video disc, and 35 and 16mm telecine, together with color correction equipment. Customer service has not been overlooked. Along the west wall of Studio C are several client offices, conference and preview rooms. Much of the new equipment is completely portable. Location production is made easy with our remote recording units.
And behind the Irish piece, followed by Call the Law, well back then as ladies...
Well, that's Armstrong Audio Video. This new facility is the unique blending of Australia's most professional sound recording studio, together with a video division equipped with the most sophisticated electronic hardware. And all of this is situated right in the heart of Melbourne's advertising industry.
A city is not just a group of buildings. It's people. People on the move, each in their own way, adding to the atmosphere that singles out one city from another. The broad leafy plane trees and green rumbling trams single out Collins Street, Melbourne, as a street to remember. Here, at its Paris end, history has been written in the staccato music of pile drivers and the whirring of mighty cranes, twisting like giant grasshoppers as they feed the construction workers below in the depths of Melbourne's largest temporary quarry.
Hello there. My name's Rowena Wallace. For many years, I've enjoyed going to the theatre. But tonight, I'd like to take you with me and sit together in the front row centre and watch on your own screens the first of 3 plays which are brought to you just as you would see them live. Right at the moment, I'm waiting in the wings, waiting for the curtain to go up, and everything's just about ready to begin. Oh, and I've got us a programme, so I'll be able to tell you a little bit about the first play we're going to see tonight.
Sit down, son.
Can't do nothing about Nance, of course. Law to herself. Well, you've only got to look at all the stuff she reads. Somerset Maugham. I'll kill mine first. Oh, Olive knows, I've told her. As long as she's my daughter living under my roof, she behaves herself. And that doesn't mean keeping callers waiting while she puffs her head off upstairs.
Well, maybe she didn't understand that I was dropping in.
Oh, she knew. At least you didn't say sugar when I said you was here, which is the usual thing when fellas drop in unexpected.
Well, it wasn't any definite arrangement. I just mentioned yesterday at the store if it was a nice afternoon, we might go out.
Oh, that kid. She never stops. Them silly too she's living with, of course. Barbara, you go in and tell your Auntie Dee or Auntie Maureen, you hear me? Well, Olive isn't coming out, so you nick off now. Or I'll be down there with me big copper stick. Ah, they never should have took that kid. Real pair of old maids.
Gentle sparkles of the bubbles, echoes of the happy times, filling every tiny corner of your laughing sunny mind. Orlando, Barassa Pearl.
Barassa Pearl invented the pop scene.
This is a commercial for a new cosmetic company.
It used to be, lady, you had no rights. No right to vote. No right to property. No right to the wage you earned. That was back when you were laced in, hemmed in, and left with not a whole lot to do. That was back when you had to sneak up to the attic if you wanted a cigarette. Smoke in front of a man? Heaven forbid.
You've come a long way, baby, to get where you got to today.
Introducing new Virginia Slims, the slim cigarette for women only, tailored for the feminine hand. Slimmer than the fat cigarettes men smoke, with the kind of flavor women like. Mellow, mild Virginia flavor. New Virginia Slims in the slim purse pack.
You've got your own cigarette now, baby. You've come a long, long way.
From the rising of the sun till the day was done, saw a world with its soul set free. And everybody's hips wore the name that really fits the way that it's meant to be. Saw a feeling in the air, you could see it everywhere, a peace that had never been me. And everybody's hips wore the name that really fits the way that it's meant to be. Yes, everybody's hips wore the name that really fits the way that it's meant to be.
Update, update, your car at Kevin Dennis. Update, your car at Kevin Dennis. Update.
Are your McLean's showing?
Show us your smile, white is in style. Why your McLean's showing? It's not a sin, it's time you grin. That's your McLean's showing.
McLean's toothpaste makes teeth irresistibly white.
Show your McLean's.
So that's what they're for.
Are your McLean's showing?
You know, I played a lot of different roles in films and plays, and Brashes is a bit like that, a place of many different parts. I mean, this is records here. That's kind of obvious, isn't it? But it's also cassettes and cartridges and all these accessories. Now, come on up to my favorite floor.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Ken. You see, I love good electronic gear, and it's all here. Stereos, hi-fi, tape recorders, cassette recorders, TVs, everything. And great guys like Ken here to help you out. Right, Ken?
Right.
Right on. Pianos. Not really my thing, but man, they're a lot of fun.
Hi, Mike.
Musical instruments here, all kinds, and professionals like Frank here to help you out. You know, this has got to be the greatest range of electronic organs in town. So it's no big surprise when I tell you that when professionals need something in sound, they shop at Brashes, because they can't buy for less anywhere. Now that's cool.
Brashes, city and suburban stores, where the professionals shop for sound.
Out here, a man looks for flavor in his cigarette. And he looks for spirit in his horse. This is Marlboro country. flavor is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Jenny Byrne. Jenny is a journalist with the Melbourne Age. During the convention, Jenny, together with a highly mobile Armstrong audio-video production unit, has been questioning the people of Albury-Wodonga on their attitudes to colour television and advertising generally. Here is our report.
Laurie, will you buy a colour television set?
Well, Jenny, I'm hoping to buy a colour TV, but, you know, I'm hoping more that one will fall off the back of a semi-trailer before March 1st.
If not, when do you plan to get one?
I'll most probably just prior to March 1st.
So, will you buy a colour television set?
No, I won't be buying a colour television set.
Why not?
Because I don't have an ordinary television set, and I can't see why I'd need a colour one.
It costs too much money. That's why. It must be too dear.
Not for many years. Why not? Because they're far too expensive. Alderman Bunton, will you buy a colour television set?
Yes, I will.
How soon?
As soon as one is available.
Most certainly.
When?
Well, I don't think until March.
Yes, eventually.
Too dear.
Well, I would like to very much.
Yes. How soon?
I'd say by the end of the year.
Well, I don't need a colour television set.
Why don't you need one?
I live in a hotel.
Is $774 too much to pay for a colour television set?
I expected it to be about that much.
On a comparative basis with what black and white sets were when they first came out, no.
An ordinary working man has got a family, a wife and 5 kids. And the wages these days are not 100%. And they just could not afford it.
I do think it is too expensive, but it doesn't apply to me.
Well, it is for us. Not really, though, I suppose. Not terribly expensive when you think of what you pay for refrigerators and other things.
Oh, that's why we thought we'd wait. We thought it probably would come down. The others did, didn't they?
No, not compared with what we used to play when they first came out, but I think that they will come down.
Well, it is a form of entertainment and a form of education, and this in these days is not a high price to pay for such an instrument.
Centre Walsh's Stores, Leisure Wear, key number WA/502, 1 by 30 seconds, recorded the 28th of 5th, 74.
Walsh's invite you to come in and break tradition. Break tradition by looking at the sensible alternative to the suit. Leisure wear from Walsh's. Leisure wear is the look for the 74 executive. Just look at the features in this range of jackets and slacks from the top designers. It's quite a choice. Come and break tradition soon with leisure wear from Walsh's. You'll be surprised till you see it, Walsh's.
And I'm going to say that that's space saving. Now, look, Neville will give you a bit of a demo in just a sec. But before I'd like to just point... Neville, we're on the telly. Don't the bathrobes, Neville.
Add the strength of fluoride to every stripe. Join them together. And you have new Aquafresh. The 3-in-1 toothpaste for 3-way family protection. Whitening, freshening, strengthening. New Aquafresh. The 3-in-1 toothpaste for 3-way family protection. Aquafresh.
Better than your ordinary jeans. That's such a good fit. But that's Fletcher Jones. I don't know how they do it for the price.
Fletcher jeans. A cut above, a few dollars below. At Fletcher Jones stores only.
Let Brash's professional music advisors give you the true feel of drums.
Hickory Harlow. In suntanned, slinky silver, baby blue, innocent pink, basic black. You'll find your size at Meijer.
Like they say, times change. So did our customers' needs, our services, and our name, several times. Today, we're known this way, with a new symbol that stands for everything you want from us.
Waves. There's a whole lot of fish in the sea, and there's me.
Waves by Paddle. Be careful.
Sang Noir, Lancôme of Paris, complements this year's dusty winter colours with eye makeup so beautifully subtle, everyone will notice.
Got a reason to fly TAA, the money-saving way.
It's easy to find a great reason to fly TAA.
Up and away with TAA, the friendly, friendly way.
Ain't nothing better than lighting up a pleasure than a good old redhead dance.
You gave me something I understand. You gave me love in the palm of my hand. I can't tell you how I feel. My heart is like a wheel, let me roll it. And I've been this way before, and I'm sure to be this way again. Once again, one more time again. Just one more time. Thank you, Australia. You've been fantastic.
Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was my delight. Green sleeves was my heart of gold. And who but my lady green sleeves? If you intend to be this way, it does the more enrapture me. And even so, I still remain a lover in captivity. Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was my
The fruit you see is the fruit you'll taste. Monbulk jams and marmalades preserve the many tastes of the orchard.
And after all these years, Mayfair ham is still as good as ever. On the bone or in the can. The master, he can't get enough of it. And as for Mr. Anderson, well, Christmas without Mayfair ham, oh, just isn't done.
Your fridge range, fabulous freezer, your whirlpool washer and dryer, the quality just couldn't be higher with Whirlpool.
Roll through your work with a Whirlpool range. The gleaming, smooth cleaning Corning cooktop, the feature-packed Viceroy wall ovens, or any of these good-looking, good cooking ranges for every kitchen, for every woman. Designed to meet your cooking needs beautifully. The excellence, elegance, reliability of Whirlpool ranges.
Whirl through your work with Whirlpool.
Some paints in your home lead a dog's life. But there is a paint with a rich satin finish that's made to take the scuffs and dirty marks that just seem to happen in passageways and family rooms. Dulux Wash and Wear Satin. Roll it on, or brush it on, for a rich, beautiful satin finish. A finish that's extra tough and completely washable. Dulux Wash and Wear Satin. Keeping Dulux #1.
Shucks, honey, it was a pushover.
Hey, you got any more coupons? Because we want to go out of town.
Well hung yackers. You know why.
This is what a Maya credit card looks like. You can use it to stretch your budget in so many ways. Buy anything you want, when you want it, with convenient monthly repayments. Talk to the friendly staff in a Maya credit department. They'll advise you on the credit system best suited to your needs. It's so flexible. The Maya Credit Department. Giving credit where credit's due. Inquire now at Maya City, Tea Tree Plaza in Marion.
you don't pay for excess fat or bone. So get the savings on farmland meat on your table during the winter meat sale at all Coles New World supermarkets.
And we've got ample space for you to park your car. Every Safeway customer's our neighbor. And neighbor, that means you. Safeway.
Mr. Venture's name's on these sheets and pillowcases. Bradman quality, girls. Bradman quality. Single bed size, $12.99. Double bed size, $15.99. And our slogan for the month is Venture is home. Hello, girls. I'm Victor Venture. At Venture Stores, we're all just one big happy family because, to us, Venture is home.
Neil will pay cash for your old car, so how about leasing a hatchback just like mine, or a Gemini? From Neil Nielsen, 980 Burwood Highway, Ferntree Gully. Phone 758-2222.
They're also throwing in a bonus, $650 worth of air conditioning. No, Herbie, wrong.
Eastside Chrysler, 303 Whitehorse Road, Nunawading, near Springvale Road.
Everything you'll ever need in entertainment. And that starts with E and that rhymes with B and that stands for Brashes. Right here, right now, right on, Mr. B.
Right on, Mr. B.
Whirlpool washers and tumble dryers. This super fridge, plus lots of other models to suit your every need. Max has got all the good things Whirlpool make and he's ready to give you a fabulous deal. Maxwell's. Maxwell's the price strippers.
Comfort you'll enjoy living with. Now, isn't that a good reason to come to Furniture City for Tessa?
Or the T1, craftsmanship at its very best. With this attention to detail, it'll last a long time without being out of date. That's why Tessa confidently claims when others have to update, you'll still be sitting pretty.
And then there is Punch the Clown, a big knockdown toy for the kiddies. Your Amcal chemist has literally hundreds of inexpensive gifts. And of course, you can find an Amcal chemist just about anywhere.
Lee, Amco, Harrison's, Colonials, Wrangler and Peaches at an incredible $5, $8, $10 and $12. This Wednesday, Thursday and Friday only at the Temperance Hall, Corroit Street, Warrnambool, and at St Paul's Church Hall, corner Victoria and Humphrey Streets, Ballarat. Both with late night shopping Thursday. The incredible Mobile Jeans Show. Prices are cheap. You think they fell off the back of a truck?
All the big names. Just sitting here waiting for you to have a listen. And of course, you've got that famous Brash's after-sales service and the best terms in the country. So come on into Brash's. You won't buy a cassette for less anywhere. Right? Right.
Place the workpiece in a 3-jaw self-centering chuck with the work projecting about 30 millimeters from the chuck face. Tool bit is set to center height and at a small angle to the work by loosening the compound rest and retightening when setting is complete. First, base the end from the center by turning the cross-slide hand wheel. The tailstock is clamped near the work and the center drill enters the work at the spotting hole. Drill the center hole 2/3 of the way up the 60-degree slope of the drill. A center hole is drilled in both ends of the workpiece. The end of Operation 1.
Is 1984 already upon us? Modern developments in electronics and communication have already made some of George Orwell's predictions much more than distinct possibilities. They're fast becoming part of the pattern of modern living. But is it time now we pause to take stock of where all this new technology is taking us? Tony McClellan.
Australians have an unrivalled obsession with the box. Television viewing in Australia has become very much of a national pastime. The development of television and communications technology generally, though, has meant that there could be the creation of social problems, at least in the future. One of the latest developments for television technology has been the creation of the video disc. This works roughly on the same principle as an LP record player. It's placed in a player which costs roughly $500 in Europe at the moment. The wafer-like disc has its disadvantages, but it's an interesting example of how far and how fast technology is advancing. That creates problems which are being considered by communications consultant Ted Connett, who's been brought to Australia by David Syme Proprietary Limited to help keep them up to date electronically.
Technology is neutral. It can provide greater participation for minorities in a democracy and for the ordinary citizen to express themselves in non-print media, or it can be used for command and control. It can be used by governments by command and control.
Is it being used for command and control by governments at the moment?
Oh yes. For example, the Americans recently loaned a satellite to India, and Mrs. Gandhi used it rather unpleasant ways that were reminiscent of the way Hitler used radio. And one can see the way people like President Park Chung-hee in South Korea, uses communications technology, broadcasting and computers and so on, ways that are very unpleasant, reminiscent of the worst sorts of things done by the American CIA and by the Germans during World War II.
Does not worry you at all as being in the industry of having some sort of moral responsibility for the creatures which you make?
Absolutely, and I would say that the misuse of technology by governments and also by large multinational corporations, because the James Bond world has also gone into the large multinationals, and the large multinationals use communications technology for propaganda and for sort of brainwashing, very much the way governments do. There isn't that much difference between a large multinational, policy communications, particularly in the kind of multinationals, say, represented by some of the large electronic publishing telecommunications entities and some of the unpleasant governments. The real problem is, in a democracy, is to try to get the ordinary citizen aware of the dangers of this technology and to fight against it. If you get electronic banking, you're going to get the same problem that you have with credit cards, only even more so. The more one uses credit cards, the more one relies on computers in banking, the easier it is for a private detective or a government or anyone else for that matter who's reasonably clever to learn all about your financial condition, all about your personal problems.
Is that happening at the moment?
Oh, yes.
How widespread do you feel?
Well, computers are fairly transparent. You get yourself a reasonably good private detective, he can find all about the financial condition of almost anyone in this country.
Well, what sort of developments could there be in the area of communications, as distinct from computers, that could endanger those sorts of civil liberties that you're talking about?
Well, it's always a race. I mean, you're going to get a large growth of white-collar computer crime as we go into coaxial cable information service. There's been some quite spectacular coups in this area already. And the computer companies are onto it. They're trying to make the computers a little bit more foolproof, but it's very difficult. And the extent that we continue to go in this world of electronic banking and electronic shopping, you're going to get more of this kind of computer crime. It's also going to be easier to spy on the personal lives of the citizenry. Not only will it be possible for a private intelligence agency or a government intelligence agency to electronically bug your home, it'll be easier for them to put in vision as well in every room. This can be done now, and is done now, in certain espionage situations, but it's prohibitively expensive. Well, one of the problems when you bug someone is you collect an enormous amount of audio material. The question is going through this material. If you have computers that can recognize sentences and then look for materials, you can program that computer to look for key words, key sentences. You can play it tape materials, and it will sift out the important things. But the point is not to focus on particular technologies, broadband communications technologies or computer technologies, but to realize we're going into a world which is more and more a high technology world, a more and more interdependent world. These technologies can be used to widen the range of choice for the average citizen, or they can be used to restrict and control them.
While Ted Connett sees any future problems as basically political, that is, who decides how technology should be used, there are large communication companies already making millions out of the manufacture of bugging and surveillance equipment. And electronic surveillance of the general population is not all that far away. The technology is already here. All that's needed is someone to decide that it should be used.
Well, like I say, is 1984 already upon us?
Hello, I'm Kevin Luscombe. Welcome to the first edition of the Electric newspaper. During the first series of cassettes, and indeed throughout the series, we hope to be able to bring you closer to the vital issues within your industry. It is our hope to bring you information on new trends, new visual techniques, and bring you in contact with informative and controversial people within the advertising industry and its supporting industries. An item recently in the news was the Green Report. Now we'd like to bring you two leading authorities in this area to tell you what's in store for the advertising industry, both the people working within advertising and the firms within the industry.
The Green Report, well, I think it's fantastic. It's got 400 pages and I've only read about 250 of them. So I suppose I say that really with a tongue-in-cheek. Because in truth, I'm not sure that the benefits of the Green Report are so obvious. They're certainly not obvious to me. And a lot of people believe that change is good just for the sake of change. But the Broadcasting Control Board, which is to be disbanded, I believe over a period of 20 years has done a pretty good job.
Now, the plans for this unique group of buildings are becoming reality. To the gallery is being added a building for live theatre, for opera, ballet, and experimental theatre. The concert hall and gardens complete the concept, which in total will give 4 auditoriums to seat nearly 6,000 people, plus an art gallery, all on the one site. At the end of the theatre's building, furthest from the gallery, will be the State Theatre, named to reflect the important role it will play for the state of Victoria, which is building the Arts Centre. There'll be refreshment areas, a bistro, shops and meeting rooms. A tall steel lattice spire will surmount this building, a landmark not only for the Arts Centre but for the city of Melbourne. Lawns and gardens will link the theatre's building with the largest auditorium, the Melbourne Concert Hall. The Concert Hall will be home to the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra and is being designed for the presentation of all types of music. This building will also house the Performing Arts Museum, a lively display of theatre and music, past and present. The concert hall will have a circular copper roof and, in its own way, will be another landmark for the southern approaches to the city of Melbourne.
The Money Program with Alan Carroll. Tonight, his guests are stockbroker Dennis Trix from William Nolan Son, Laurie Cox from the stock firm Potter Partners, Dr. Neville Norman from Melbourne University, and special guest tonight, diamond dealer Bill Joris from Jules Joris and Company.
Hello, I'm Alan Carroll, and this is the Money Program. It's about your money, and particularly for the smaller investor like myself who has, say, $5,000, and I don't think I have that much, but say $5,000 and you're looking at the whole range of investment alternatives. And we will be looking at alternatives. Shares, of course. Tonight we'll be concentrating upon shares.
certain position in the paddock, and I wouldn't go home. I just stayed there, and I could dream of what I was doing. I could see this lovely thing coming up in front of me. Sometimes it was vague, sometimes it was quite clear-cut, and other times it was vague. But to keep it, and it was something like this, that say, for instance, if you, what it is, well, you see, there's a fella called Brearley, there's my manager.
Sorry, who were they?
That's a fella called Brearley. There's a fella called Minogue. There's a fella called Bill Cook. There's a fella called Professor Taylor. There's another soldier fella, another Professor Taylor.
Did all these people come up here and help in one way
Yes,
or
they
another?
all helped me. Yeah, they all came and helped me.
Can we walk around the gallery and have a look at some of the other pieces? You were an associate of Meldrum's.
I used to teach for Meldrum. I was his pupil at one time. But he was a remarkable man. I admired him tremendously. I still do.
There's a portrait down there on the lower floor of a lady. That's very much in the Meldrum style.
That's my wife.
When was that actually painted?
That was painted in Paris about a good while ago.
Armstrong Audio Video is a multimedia complex setting new standards in Australia and ranking amongst the finest audiovisual communications facilities in the world. The world, in fact, not just Australia, is the boundary for the services provided by Armstrong Audio Video, services for broadcasting, industry, education and government. But the best television, as with radio, relies upon the best sound. When a long list of international recording artists and producers choose to record here, when feature film soundtracks are made here, and when most of Australia's significant radio commercials are recorded here, there's a fair indication that Armstrong's has the best in sound.
Wolfschmidt vodka, the people's drink. Yes, my darling. Kenneth Gerald Barton at your service.
Commercials are a big part of the activity in AAV's 5 sound studios.
Terrific take, Jim.
And a big part also of its video operations.
Braised steak bourgeoise. Mr. Heinz has always made up the language. Now, by heaven, he's making up the dishes. Chump, chop, champrolon. He seems to think you can just take a can of potter soup stock pot, pour it over 4 chump chops, add potato, bacon, and onion, and for under $2, you can feed a family of 4. He could be right. What a pity I didn't bring the family.
Television today is expanding beyond the realm of broadcasting into the fields of industry, government and education. The training program, an essential part of the day-to-day needs of industry, is made easier through the use of video cassettes. At Armstrong Audio Video, the industrial and educational division is prepared for the video revolution, but it's a revolution that does not make old programs redundant. Slides and films, whether black and white or color, are easily transferred to videotape, sometimes improving their quality by our color balancing and image enhancement methods. Copies of the new, easy-to-use video cassette can then be quickly duplicated at a considerable saving in time and cost. The simplicity of operation of the video cassette has taken its cue from the tiny audio cassette, now a familiar item in homes, schools and audiovisual libraries. An integral part of the activities of Armstrong Audio Video is the recording and high-speed dubbing of audio cassettes in other languages as well as English. The cassettes sometimes form part of a sound and print program used in schools and industrial training. Or they may be part of a tape slide audio-visual program.
There are 2 basic types of readout systems.
The audio-visual department at Armstrong's handles not only the simple single-screen method, but integrated audio-visual lectures and the powerfully motivating multi-screen presentations so widely used by government and by industry. Multimedia, then, is what Armstrong Audio Video is all about. It is a world in which the computer is playing an increasingly important part. The computer is at the heart of a new videotape editing system at Armstrong's, a system designed to save you time and money. Another special feature at AAV is the video synthesizer. Basically, it's a video animation bench. Working from monochrome graphics, which are later colorized, the synthesizer can twist, turn, bend, and pulsate the image in a fraction of the time taken by conventional film animation. Its application in advertising and entertainment titles is unlimited, but it extends also to business and communications symbols and to the simulation of physical phenomena in science. Armstrong Audio Video is a product of 20th century technology, but its technology and its people are serving a very old basic need, communications, no matter how simple or how complex. Armstrong Audio Video, a communications service to broadcasting, industry, education, and government. Armstrong Audio Video is the most advanced and comprehensive television and sound complex in Australia with superb equipment and outstanding production talent. On the videotape side, it has been set up to equal the best in the world. Its facilities are used by the major agencies of Australia, and a very large percentage of the commercials you see on your television have been produced at either Armstrong's own premises or on location by an outside unit. In the retail area, they have refined their ability to produce simple, quick, and highly professional retail commercials to a fine degree. Guests, Brashes, and Meyer are just 3 examples of their excellent work.
Goulburn Town Hall, Lilac Place, Goulburn, this Wednesday, Thursday and Friday with thousands of jeans. Priced at $3, $5, $6, $8 and $10. Okay.
Okay, this is commercial 30 oblique D, take 1.
The incredible mobile jeans.
There you go,
Albert Hall off Commonwealth Avenue, Canberra. I see. Just round the bend from anywhere in Canberra.
Do you want him to do one? Is it the other one next by? Right. The next one, market.
Well, it's on telly. It's a television voiceover.
Is it? It's not radio?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Oh,
Not so bad.
Yeah. Don't show this top bit here. I guess unfortunately we see all that shit up the top little thing, don't we?
No.
Oh, you missed that, did
Go. Oh, much better. Ace. Yeah, it's good. That looks much better like that. Step over camera right. Further. Oh, camera right. Other way.
Oh,
right.
I'm in the light of it here.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, just go out of shot, mate. Step right out. Doesn't matter if you walk through the light. You got to walk through the light to get there. Okay, walk in, start it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What you are about to witness is a very carefully conceived, beautifully executed, painfully planned parade of perhaps the most perfect audio production facilities in the world. Peruse. Studio 1 of the Eastlake design, the only one in Australia, of course, with the Harrison 4032C console with 32 inputs and 32 outputs. Puts. And this is basically a 24-track studio with provision for 32 tracks and a carefully concealed private phone booth for calling home to say your session's running over, when in actual fact you're really at the town hall. Yes. The desk is equipped with auto-set automation, which allows for 4 dynamic mixers for each audio track, and up to 630 static mixers without using any multi-track tape. And speaking of trucks, which we weren't, there's a beautifully equipped 24-track hobby van lying dormant in the garage, just waiting to go out gigging. Giggling. No, gigging. And, of course, you'll no doubt have noticed the eco-synchronizing package, Sierra Hidley quadraphonic monitoring, and the extensive range of outboard equipment. Yes, a little bit of an audio joke there. Yes, but enough ones and twos for now, because you're probably wondering just what goes on behind the closed doors of 3, 4, and indeed 5.
3 voiceover studios!
Each with its own particular theme line and personal decorator magic. 3 has all of 16 tracks and an extremely attractive railway clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Stand clear, please, all stations. Yes. 4 has an 8-track and the aesthetics that rank somewhere between Star Wars and Captain Video, whoever he may be. And 5, oh, good old Studio 5, only has a 4-track. But oh, what a 4-track. Oh, yes. And yes, the sound effects library. Here you'll find anything from Basil Rathbone's belching, Gone with the Wind, to the rare and exotic mating screams of the Afghanistan trotting yak. Once through this endless symphony of euphonic masterpieces, we find the voiceover talent library. If a voice is not here, it's more than likely unspeakable, or imprisoned in Rick Stone's bell tower, and we all know what that's like, don't we? And at the end of it all, dubbing and dispatch, without whom none of this would be possible. Those super efficient, kind, warm, gentle, fast, extremely vivacious, rampant, beautiful, unassuming dark horses of dispatch. Make sure that your tapes always arrive on time.
Good morning, AAV. you like your session? 10:30 would be fine. And what was the product? Fine. Good morning. And how many tracks was it? Fine. What time would you like us to book?
Good evening.
Busy girl, you've done it again. Made your hair irresistibly clean. Instant shampoo sprayed on, brushing through. Pond's Busy Girl can do it for you. Busy girl, you've done it again. Made your hair irresistibly clean. Instant shampoo sprayed on, brushing through. Pond's Busy Girl can do it for you. I'm in love with you, Busy Girl. New mobile anti-wear, mobile petrol at cut down wear. Your engine gets less wear with mobile anti-wear. Young cars have power to spare. Mobile petrol will keep in there. Come on, mobile, keep your car young. Keeps your car young. Keeps your car young. Keeps your car young. There was a wild, wild woman and she came to me out of the country of the wild cherry. Singing cherry ripe, cherry ripe, cherry ripe from Mac Robertson. Like the first taste of a ripe red cherry in the summertime. Mac Robertson cherry ripe. Big chunky pieces of cherry covered in mouth-watering old gold chocolate. Wild woman, won't you come to me with your lips that taste of the wild cherry. Singing cherry ripe from Mac Robertson. Peters keep good things coming or keep them rolling. Now ain't that something? Peters still keep the good things coming. Keep them coming every day. Keep them coming. Peters keep the good things coming or keep them rolling. Now ain't that something? Peters still keep the good things coming. Keep them coming every day. Oh, keep them coming, Peter. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the good things coming. Now ain't that something? Yeah. Peters keep the good things coming. Keep them coming every day. Right.
G'day, Happiness. G'day, mate. You look like it's been a long day.
Has, believe me, it really has. I think I've done about 8 sessions today already. Then you go and lump this one on me for 7 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Doug. It's one of those crash hot urgent jobs that's on air in a couple of days.
No, it's okay. I hope it's a quick one anyway.
Should be. It's just a one-line tag for a 30-seconder.
Oh, good. Who's doing it?
Don.
Great. Now, if we knock it off quick, he owes me a drink.
Who owes who a drink? Hi, Don.
Come in, mate.
G'day, Doug. G'day, Mike.
We're just talking about how you're going to get us out of here in 3 minutes flat and buy me all those drinks you keep promising.
Well, if we're out by 7:15, I'll buy all the beers until past. How's that?
I'll order a dozen jugs.
You would too, you rat. What are you doing, Mike?
Oh, just a 30-second TV track for Cold Action. It's just a one-line tag that says that Cold Action cleans and whitens, right? So you can do it in a couple of takes and you can have your beers and I can go home.
Okay, let's rip into it, shall we?
Yeah, but just hang on. There's a guy coming down from the agency. We'll give him a couple of minutes before we start. I'm looking at a simple, straightforward, matter-of-fact type of read that has no hard sell about it. The concept is supposed to be new to soap powder advertising, whether that's possible. Showing Mum at a non-washing up time of the day, enshrouded in relaxation, that's supposed to say that with Cold Action, she does it so much faster and has so much more time to herself or something. Anyway, the caption to it is leisure.
Oh, aye. Should be a good one.
Well, actually, the pictures we've shot are all right. Whether it'll sell soap powder, of course, it's another thing, but we'll just follow the script. Hi, fellas. Sorry I'm late. Mike, we have met, haven't we? I saw you at the agency the other day. That's right. Mad scramble of a day. Brian couldn't make it, so I thought I'd just pop down and see how it all came together. Don, this is Philip Turner from Horny Poke Cock Up and Column. Hi, Don. And Doug Stewart, our sound engineer. Hi, Doug.
Right, I've got a few scripts here, just in case you haven't got any.
No, we've got one. All right. Cool.
Okay, but please, I'm just a fly on the wall. I'm not even here, okay?
Okay, let's put it down, shall we? Okay, just put an ID on it for us, will you, Don?
You rolling? Right. This is a 30-second TV track for Horniper, Cockup and Conham. The product is Cold Action. Key number is HCC/CA/1590083/30. The caption is Leisure, and this is take one. Cold Action cleans. I didn't like that. Take two, all right? Cold Action cleans and whitens. One more. Take three. Cold Action cleans and whitens.
That was nice, Don. I like that. You happy with that, Philip?
Oh, yeah, good. Fine.
Good. Thanks, Don.
No worries. Okay, Don, that's a bye.
I would just like one more.
Okay, what do you want to change?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Hold it, Don.
Well, do you want it a little easier, a little more aggressive, a bit more hard sell?
Oh, no, not hard sell. Look, maybe if he eases up a little on the word whitens.
Okay. Don, we'll try one just the same, okay? But hold back on whitens a little.
Fair enough. You ready? Right, this is take four. Cold Action cleans and whitens. You want me to lean on that a little more? Sure. This is take five. Cold Action cleans and whitens. Take six. Cold Action cleans and whitens. That ought to win you.
I'm just trying to get the full interpretation of the line. What's it all about? What does it all mean? We've got the name of the product fairly well established, as to identify it against other cold powders. But what are we really saying about it? We're saying Cold Action cleans and whitens. Cleans and whitens. That's it. The imbalance is in the cleans and whitens. That is, after all, the product promise. So we should be emphasising that a bit more, don't you think? Could we try one like that?
Yeah, all right, as soon as Don gets back.
Remember, Don, whitens. Try to imagine that crisp, clean washing on the line. It is really white.
Once more, Don, with emphasis on whitens.
When you're ready. Cold Action cleans and whitens.
You happy with that, Philip?
I think he's missing the importance of the word and. The word and needs to be punched, Don. It's a strong link between the two items of product benefit.
Hang on, let's see, where are we, Mike? With inflection on Cold Action, a bit of an underline on cleans, emphasis on whitens, and punching on and.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Yeah, I think we started off a bit too soft. This should make it sit up and sell without being too much of a hard flog.
Rolling for another one.
Okay, take whatever it is. Cold Action cleans and whitens.
One more, please, Don.
Cold Action cleans and whitens.
Nearly, we're so close. Just one more.
Cold Action cleans and whitens.
Yes, but don't overpower the name. Remember the product name.
Cold Action cleans and whitens.
That's it. I'll buy that. We've got it. What do you think, Mike?
It's fine for time.
Yeah, that's all right.
That last one was it. I don't think it was too much of a hard flog. Do you, Mike? It had the life we didn't have at the start, yet it didn't have too much of a hard sell.
Okay. Okay, Don.
Could we just hear that one again, please, Doug?
Yeah, anything to please.
Well, if you fellas are happy with that, I'll be off.
Yeah. Thanks, Don. That was good.
Thanks, Don. Sorry we took so long, but they tell me that tags take the longest to do. That was a good job. You'll be getting much more work from our agency after doing that. Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Doc.
You can buy me that beer tomorrow, Don. I'll hold you to it, too.
Right.
Bye,
See ya.
Don. I'll play back for you.
Go ahead.
Hold! Action! Cleans and whitens!
One more, please, Doug.
Hold! Action! Cleans and whitens!
I don't know. Maybe for a soap powder, it should be a woman's voice.
In simple terms, the facility will operate along the following lines, in the interest of agencies, their clients, and their production houses. And that's an important thing to note, their production houses. For Armstrong sees itself as a partner and not a competitor, and that's basic to the whole philosophy. You can bring a problem of any size to AAV. Let's say you want to shoot a simple, disposable retail ad, the sort of thing you've used to do at one of the local television stations. In this case, AAV will be happy to do the job from go to woe, quoting, booking talent, organising graphics and sets, taping on location or in their studios. They'll organise official approval and dispatch. And although AAV is fully staffed in every phase of production, they'll call on a talent pool of appropriate freelancers and outsiders to ensure a high standard job. Meanwhile, we agencies can have the degree of involvement we want. We can leave it entirely to AAV, or we can roll up our sleeves and participate every inch of the way. And very soon we'll be offered a method of editing commercials, retail or otherwise, in our own office on simple cassette machines. The dubs we use will be computer coded so that your rough cut can be brought to AAV and instantly copied by the computer on the big RCA or Ampex machines, when it will be simply a matter of fine-tuning. But if your job requires a higher level of technical or creative expertise, the production procedures will be decidedly different. First of all, AAV will not produce such a commercial itself. It exists as a facility, not as a production house. So it will involve one of the many talented studios or freelancers that are working in cooperation. We've all been conscious over the years that the creative product of videotape has often lacked artistry and style and looked pretty dreadful. They looked as though they'd been made by men in white coats, and of course that's what the truth of the matter was. So right from the outset, AAV determined to involve the film industry in their plans, to collaborate with the best directors and cameramen and editors. AAV will be happy to provide facilities from casting to carpentry, or to work with your film house in your usual way. Now, I've long argued the advantages of shooting commercials on video. Apart from the speed up of post-production, you can see what you're getting on the floor, you can see the quality of colour, the compositions on the video monitors. The directors, the actors and everybody involved can watch instant replays to check on delivery, on diction, on movement. And AAV can organise a running edit so that the OK takes are roughly cut for assessment by the end of your session.
One of the analogies that we often make about this device is that the video synthesizer is to images what the essentially Moog synthesizer is to audio, and in many respects this is true because you can take either graphics or nothing at all, in fact, and generate various forms of abstract images, and even not abstract images from the device. To a great extent, the applications here can be summed up as creating backgrounds and segues, interesting titles, but I think the main effect and the main use of this device will be in replacing what would otherwise be film animation, or in fact in doing film animation techniques when the budget or the time does not allow for them. The device enables still graphics such as titles and logos to be animated in many ways. We can control, aside from the normal animation stand functions such as the horizontal and vertical position on the screen and the size and the color, we can control the shape, which is a new area which prior to this could only be done with simple cell animation techniques. All of the graphics, as I said before, were done on this device, and a little later this afternoon when we have a chance to look at the equipment firsthand, we'll actually create real time several of the animated effects we've seen on these tapes.
Cadd is the first Australian artist to have an album in the Australian top 10. Brian Cadd is the first Australian composer to win an Overseas Song Festival award. Brian Cadd, the Australian singer, songwriter, producer, artist and repertoire manager. Brian Cadd.
Everybody knows them, no one is looking for me. Robbers on the highway,